At first, it looks like everyday life. Teachers, nurses, cops, even a clockmaker just trying to get by. Then suddenly people start flying, bending time and healing from injuries that should have been game over. Imagine juggling work, family drama, and the small problem of accidentally exploding a city block. That's the ride this first season of Heroes takes you on. Ordinary folks waking up with powers, colliding with each other, and realizing the fate of millions rests in their very shaky hands. A young man named Peter Petrelli keeps having strange dreams of falling from rooftops, always seeing his brother Nathan before waking up. In real life, Peter works as a hospice nurse for Charles DeVoe, a dying man whose daughter Simone visits often. Peter clearly has feelings for her, though she is already in a relationship. In India, a professor named Mohinder Suresh lectures about human evolution, suggesting mankind may be capable of powers like teleportation and regeneration. He soon learns his father Chandra has died. Searching his father's apartment, Mohinder uncovers research files labeled Genesis and maps linking gifted individuals worldwide. He realizes someone dangerous is after the same material and escapes with a clue pointing to New York. Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, a woman named Nikki Sanders performs online strip shows to pay bills while raising her son, Micah. She owes money to a criminal named Linderman. Nikki begins seeing her own reflection act independently, hinting at another personality. When thugs come to collect, she blacks out, only to awaken surrounded by their mutilated bodies, her reflection urging silence. In Texas, cheerleader Clare Bennet secretly records herself surviving deadly accidents. She can heal from any injury, but fears being exposed as a freak. Across the world in Japan, office worker Hiro Nakamura discovers he can bend time. With practice, he teleports himself across the planet, arriving in New York City, thrilled by his ability. Back in New York, artist Mendez paints disturbing visions of the future while battling drug addiction. His girlfriend Simone tries to help, but Isaac believes his paintings predict disasters. Peter confides in Nathan about his dreams and his belief that he can fly. To prove it, Peter jumps from a building. Nathan soars upward, revealing his own power. He can truly fly. Later, Peter dreams of falling again, saved briefly by Nathan before slipping away, only to wake in a hospital. Nathan insists Peter tried to end his life, but Peter remembers his brother flying. Nathan denies it, calling it nonsense. Claire recalls pulling a man from the train wreck as she hides behind the story in the paper. She asks her father about her real parents, but he urges her to stay focused on an easy life. In New York, Mohinder discovers an intruder in his apartment. The man pretends to be an exterminator, but when the ruse fails, he attacks. Mohinder fights back until a young woman intervenes. She recognizes Mohinder as the professor's son and later explains how close she was to his father, revealing hints about his research. Meanwhile, Hiro teleports from Tokyo to New York, amazed. He buys a comic book and realizes it describes his own adventure, written by artist Isaac Mendez. At home, Isaac struggles with addiction while painting visions of disaster, warning Simone of New York's destruction. Nikki wakes to find two dead men in her garage, killed during a blackout. Her reflection urges secrecy. Later, she discovers a hidden car, a map, and the corpses of the men in its trunk, terrifying her further. Claire is praised as a hero, though Jackie takes credit. Zach warns her their secret tape is missing. Later, during football practice, Claire's neck snaps, only to heal instantly. Officer Matt Parkman hears voices during a brutal murder scene and rescues a girl. Suspected himself, he's arrested after revealing knowledge he shouldn't have. Peter later confronts Nathan, who finally admits they both flew. Peter briefly rises into the air before collapsing. At that moment, Hiro learns he has traveled forward in time, glimpsing New York's fiery destruction. Late at night outside Las Vegas, Nikki digs in the desert. With her son asleep in the car, she uncovers a skeleton wearing a skull ring and mutters that DL is guilty. Opening her trunk, she recoils at the corpses of Linderman's thugs. In Texas, Claire helps her father unload a mascot effigy for the big game. She notices the quarterback smiling her way, but feels overshadowed when Jackie brags again about taking credit for Claire's real rescue. In Tokyo, Ando watches one of Nikki's online shows while Hiro bursts in, claiming he traveled into the future. He insists they must stop New York's destruction, showing Ando a comic book that predicts their every move. Skeptical, Ando brushes him off until Hiro drags him outside, determined to prove it. In New York, Peter tests his flight by leaping from monkey bars, amusing a boy in a cape. He presses Nathan to believe him, showing him a book on human evolution, but Nathan dismisses it and worries about reporters. Mohinder, frustrated in his late father's apartment, discovers a hidden notebook with Eden's help. It points them toward a man named Sylar. Breaking into Sylar's home, they find maps, notes, and eerie writings that hint at madness. Meanwhile, FBI agent Audrey tests Matt's telepathy. Shocked when he reads her thoughts, she recruits him to help investigate. On the other hand, Claire struggles with normal life. Zach urges her to embrace who she is, but she wants to blend in. Later at the bonfire, quarterback Brody charms her before trying to assault her. Fighting back, she falls onto a branch that pierces her skull, killing her. As the night ends, Peter argues with Nathan. Simone comforts him, and Isaac sketches visions, including Claire's fate. At the morgue, Claire suddenly awakens on the autopsy table. Matt wakes, strapped to a gurney, while Mr. Bennet watches. A strange man blocks Matt's mind reading, but Matt still pulls the name Claire from Bennet's thoughts. Alarmed, Bennet orders the man to erase Matt's memory, leaving him screaming. Meanwhile, Hiro and Ando reach Las Vegas. Hiro worries because Isaac will die in 5 weeks and New York will explode, but his messages have been in Japanese. Ando translates, and together they wander into a casino. At the same time, Nikki and Micah meet Linderman's associate, who pressures Nikki to seduce a politician for leverage. Though she resists, threats against Micah push her toward the job. That politician is Nathan Petrelli, now in Vegas. Elsewhere, Claire lies on an autopsy table. The coroner removes the branch from her skull and Claire heals instantly. Once alone, Claire wakes, stitches herself shut, and sneaks out in a stolen coat. Later at school, she hides the truth from her friends but plots revenge against Brody. Meanwhile, Mohinder receives his father's ashes and decides to return to India until Peter visits. Peter insists he can mimic powers, explaining he flew with Nathan and painted with Isaac. Back at the casino, Hiro freezes time and rigs roulette, saving Ando's last dollar. They win big, but Ando pushes his luck, leading to thugs confronting them. Simone confronts Isaac, who reveals he already foresaw her kiss with Peter. Addicted, Isaac believes heroin lets him paint the future, visions that include Claire in danger. Later, Claire lures Brody into his car, then crashes head-on into a wall, determined to stop him. That night, as Nathan and Nikki sleep, Bennet and his partner arrive to abduct someone. Finally, on the subway, time halts. A future version of Hiro appears, fluent in English, armed with a sword. He warns Peter that a dark future is coming. Peter is stunned when time freezes and Hiro appears, warning him, "Save the cheerleader, save the world." Before Peter can ask questions, Hiro vanishes, leaving him shaken. To Mohinder, who sees no one, Peter looks like he was talking to thin air. Meanwhile, Claire is wheeled into the hospital after her crash. She insists she's fine, but when she spots Brody nearby, he calls her a crazy bitch, words only she hears. Elsewhere, Nathan is being escorted by Noah and the Haitian. Nathan protests, but seizes a chance to escape. Realizing he's trapped, he finally takes to the sky and flies away. Back at a hotel, Nikki wakes up in Nathan's room with no memory of the night before. Linderman's men arrive, showing her a tape of her and Nathan, and declare her debt erased. Peter tries convincing Mohinder that Hiro's warning is real, but Mohinder dismisses him. Left alone, Peter returns to Isaac's studio. There, Isaac's prophetic paintings reveal Claire's image. When Isaac refuses to paint without drugs, Peter tries himself. His eyes turn white as he paints a chilling vision, Claire dead, her chest torn open. Meanwhile, Hiro and Ando's partnership fractures after they're tossed from a van. At a diner, Hiro is overjoyed when Nathan literally drops from the sky. Hiro explains his powers and his glimpse of the future. Nathan, amused, agrees to give Hiro a ride. Claire later confides in her father about Brody's assault. Bennet confronts Brody, then has the Haitian erase his memory, leaving him a blank slate. Elsewhere, Matt uses his telepathy to repair his marriage, but collapses under overwhelming voices while stopping a robbery. Finally, Peter answers Isaac's ringing phone. Hiro is on the line. Shocked, Peter says, "I have a message for you." When Peter finishes Isaac's painting, he repeats Hiro's message. "Save the cheerleader, save the world." Just then, Hiro calls again. This time, Peter answers and tells Hiro and Ando about meeting future Hiro. He urges them to come to New York so they can work together. Afterward, Peter and Isaac search the paintings for clues but realize one has been sold. Meanwhile, in Odessa, Claire talks with her mother before her father interrupts, announcing he has arranged a meeting with her biological parents. Claire later discusses this with Zach, wondering if they might share her powers. Zach admits he hopes they don't, saying her gift makes her unique. In Las Vegas, DL unexpectedly returns home, reuniting with Nikki. They speak about repairing their family, though tension lingers. Soon after, Hiro and Ando prepare to leave for New York but are stopped by the gambler they cheated. He demands their help in a high-stakes poker game. During the match, Ando notices a player hiding a gun. Taking Hiro aside, they plan to flee, but chaos erupts as gunfire breaks out. Hiro tries to freeze time but fails, and they barely escape. Elsewhere, Mohinder tells Eden he is finished chasing his father's work. He thanks her, and she kisses him goodbye, though she believes he will return. Soon after, she reports everything to Claire's father, including Hiro's warning. He instructs her to stop Mohinder and bring Isaac in. At the meeting, Claire learns only dull medical facts from her parents, leaving her disappointed. Later, her mother questions how her father even found them, since records were supposedly sealed. Back at home, Nikki's darker side reveals the stolen money, the murders, and DL's framing. When DL confronts her, their powers powers collide, her strength against his phasing. Micah arrives just as his father takes him and flees. Later, we see Eden visiting Isaac. Peter dreams of reading the stock report to Charles, sharing a tender "I love you" moment before Charles collapses in a coughing fit. Peter tries to show he can fly, but Charles doubts him. Just as Peter steps toward the window, he wakes to Simone at his door, tearfully telling him her father has died. Meanwhile, Zach returns Claire's missing tape, though he admits he only misplaced it. She hides it, but her brother Lyle spots it and later watches the recording. Shocked, he staples Claire's hand to test her, panicking when he sees it heal. He calls her a freak and locks himself in a car, refusing to give the tape back until Claire convinces him that secrecy is the only way to protect their family. Elsewhere, Nikki wakes to find Micah and DL gone. She pleads with her reflection for help, later confiding in her friend Tina about Jessica, her darker side. At the same time, Micah asks his father why they left his mother. Soon, they come across a burning car. DL risks saving someone inside, revealing his strange ability, but Hiro freezes time and pulls everyone to safety before the car explodes. Matt grows suspicious of his wife's thoughts and throws himself into work. Partnered with Audrey, he encounters Theodore, a man radiating deadly energy. Theodore only wants to save his dying wife, and after Matt lets them share a final moment, he surrenders. During Nathan's campaign brunch, Peter pressures him about the prophetic painting, but Nathan refuses, fearing exposure of their powers. Later, Nathan secures the painting through Linderman, while assuring Heidi of his devotion. That night, Nikki's alter ego takes full control, terrifying Tina. Micah secretly calls home only to hear Jessica's chilling voice. Mohinder soon returns to India to scatter his father's ashes and wrestles with whether to continue teaching. His old flame, Mira, offers him a position at a genetics company, but warns him to abandon his father's theories on human evolution. Later, while moving into his father's office, Mohinder notices a program running on the computer. When he tries to delete it, a warning makes him hesitate. Soon after, his mother reveals something new. Mohinder once had a sister, Shanti, who died young but was considered special. Through vivid dreams, Mohinder sees visions of his parents arguing, and even his father's murder by a man wearing a broken watch stuck at 7 minutes to midnight. Guided by a mysterious boy, he discovers that the key in his father's journal opens a hidden drawer. Inside, he finds a file about the boy, Sanjog Iyer. Meanwhile, Hiro and Ando stop at a diner and meet Charlie, a kind waitress with a gift for perfect memory. Hiro is charmed, but danger is near. The same man linked to Mohinder's father's death is watching. Using telekinesis to move a coffee cup, later Charlie is found murdered, her brain removed, just like other Sylar victims. Determined to change fate, Hiro travels back in time, but he doesn't return as promised. Instead, a photo shifts, showing him in Charlie's past. Elsewhere, Matt and Audrey interrogate Ted, who can release radiation. He mentions the Haitian before being taken by Homeland Security. Afterward, Matt is suspended from work and his marriage hangs in the balance. Back in Odessa, Bennet reveals to Isaac that Claire was adopted after her biological mother died. Fearing Sylar will kill her, Bennet demands Isaac finish a painting showing her fate, forcing Eden to use drugs to spark his visions. At school, Claire and Zach walk into the amphitheater as the cheer squad waits for homecoming results. Claire brushes it off, but Zach pushes her to check. To her surprise, she's crowned queen, while Jackie only makes court. Students cheer for Claire, but Jackie tries to ruin the moment by mocking Zach. This time, Claire defends her friend and punches Jackie. Meanwhile, DL and Micah stop at a diner while on the run. Micah jokes they're like Batman and Robin, though DL refuses the costume idea. When police show up, DL grows tense and realizes Micah has slipped away. At the same time, Jessica is testing a sniper rifle, ignoring Nikki's worried reflection as she prepares to hunt. Elsewhere in India, Mohinder searches for answers in his dreams. He finally meets the mysterious boy, who tells him the truth is already within. That night, Mohinder realizes his father tried to shield him, yet he chooses to continue the work. Unlocking the computer with his sister's name, he discovers a list of gifted people. Back in New York, Nathan acquires Isaac's painting and, fearing for Peter, ruins it. Peter later finds the digital copy, showing him bleeding at a school in Texas. He sets off for Odessa, calling Ando for help, though Hiro is still trapped in the past. That night, Claire sneaks out with Zach to attend homecoming. In the locker room, Jackie boasts about fake heroics until Sylar attacks, mistaking her for the target. Claire revives from his assault, exposing herself as the real prize. Jackie dies, urging Claire to run. Peter arrives and bravely faces Sylar, fulfilling the painting's vision as he falls in blood. Yet, because of Claire's presence, Peter heals. Sylar escapes, Eden and the Haitian intervene, and Peter is arrested for Jackie's murder. Meanwhile, Hiro accidentally lands 6 months in the past instead of 1 day and finds himself at the Burnt Toast Diner on Charlie's birthday. He tries to convince her that he traveled through time, but she is doubtful, even after he uses his powers to impress her. Wanting to protect her, he warns her about the future, though his timing is off. Despite his efforts, Hiro grows close to Charlie, even giving her a Japanese phrase book and filling the diner with paper cranes. She admits she is dying from a blood clot and that meeting him has given her joy. Before they can kiss, Hiro is pulled back to the present, devastated that he couldn't save her. Meanwhile, Gabriel Gray meets Chandra Suresh, who encourages him to believe he might be special. Gabriel becomes obsessed with proving himself. When Chandra doubts him, Gabriel takes matters into his own hands, luring another man with abilities and murdering him to fix what was broken. He begins calling himself Sylar, convinced he has found his purpose. Elsewhere, Eden is caught stealing and brought to Bennet. With the Haitian blocking her powers, she's told she can start fresh by working for him. Bennet later presses Chandra about Clare while secretly planning to protect his daughter. At the same time, Nikki confronts her father Hal, who reappears after years of absence. She struggles with her buried memories until her alter ego, Jessica, emerges and violently drives him away. Nathan and Heidi's cars run off the road. In the chaos, Nathan discovers he can fly, but Heidi is badly injured. Their father soon dies of a heart attack, further straining the family. In the present, Hiro returns to the diner memorial, admitting he cannot change the past, leaving an origami crane for Charlie. Claire confronts her father after realizing he has always known about her regenerative powers. She feels betrayed, but he insists secrecy was the only way to keep her safe from those who would exploit her. When pressed, she admits that Zach and Lyle also know, though Lyle only learned after stealing a tape. Far away, Sylar sits trapped in a company cell designed to block every ability he has stolen. Bennet mocks him, calling him Gabriel, and warns that scientists plan to dissect him. Eden argues he should be executed before he grows more dangerous, but Bennet refuses, bound by orders to keep him alive. Determined to change what lies ahead, Eden later visits Isaac and urges him to paint again. Hiro, still shaken by his failure to protect Claire, considers giving up. Ando reminds him that destiny may not be finished, and soon Isaac proves it. Painting without drugs for the first time, he reveals an image of Hiro wielding a sword, standing face to face with the dinosaur. In New York, Peter is haunted by visions. He sees Nathan transform into Sylar, warning of destruction. He wakes inside a police station where Matt attempts to read his thoughts. Instead, Peter mirrors the ability, overwhelming them both. The two men recognize that their powers connect them in unexpected ways. Later, Claire sneaks in to visit Peter, who explains that her survival allowed him to heal. She begins to see how their lives are bound together. In Las Vegas, DL and Micah flee Jessica's pursuit. For a moment, Nikki regains control, tearfully apologizes, and turns herself over to the police. Back at the facility, Eden makes one last choice. Rather than let Sylar steal her ability, she uses a gun on herself. As night falls, Peter collapses, envisioning New York consumed by nuclear fire, with himself at the center. 2 weeks later, Peter is still haunted by dreams of himself exploding in New York. Meanwhile, Nikki sits in prison, struggling with her darker side, while Claire wrestles with gaps in her memory after the school tragedy. Her father insists it's trauma, but she suspects more. Elsewhere, Sylar remains locked in a lab, his abilities under constant testing. The scientists can't explain his powers, but orders demand he stay alive. At the same time, Matt joins an FBI raid on the paper company, though the search turns up nothing. Meanwhile, Hiro drags Ando to a museum, convinced the sword he needs to control his powers lies there. He spots it, but finds only a replica, marked with a symbol of destiny. Determined, he vows to track down the original, which is in Linderman's possession. Peter's condition worsens as fever dreams blur into visions. Simone worries, while Nathan argues his brother's obsession is dangerous. At the same time, DL and Micah try adjusting to life without Nikki. A lawyer clears DL of charges, but Linderman's influence still looms. At school, Claire tries reconnecting with Zach, but he has no memory of their bond. The Haitian erased it. Later, she begs for answers and pleads that Zach's memories be restored, so she won't feel so alone. Mohinder learns more about his father's list, but when Bennet approaches him with an offer to work together, he refuses. Meanwhile, Matt shocks his wife by proving he can hear thoughts. Eventually, Peter dreams of a strange man tied to the coming destruction. Chasing the figure through the city, he discovers he's invisible and violent. As the pieces move, Hiro searches for his weapon. Claire regains a friend. Nikki struggles with Jessica, and Peter edges closer to his dangerous destiny. Nikki remains in county jail, where a counselor arrives to assess her and quickly concludes she suffers from multiple personalities. Nikki resists help, refusing to let Jessica surface. Meanwhile, DL struggles as a single father, short on rent money. Desperate, he sneaks into Nikki's cell, but she insists on staying behind, urging him to be there for Micah instead. Later, Micah secretly uses his ability at an ATM to withdraw thousands, handing the cash to his father to ease their burden. The counselor later returns, explaining she can only help Nikki if Jessica is allowed to speak. At the same time, Matt confides more about Primatech to his wife, who still has trouble believing him. During his review, his version of events is dismissed, forcing him to admit he exaggerated in hopes of seeming like a hero. As punishment, he is suspended for 6 months. He returns home discouraged, only to discover his wife is pregnant after reading her thoughts. Their joy softens the blow of his career setback. Elsewhere, Claire secretly searches for her birth mother with Zach's help. The Haitian warns her not to ask again, claiming her mother died years ago. Still, Claire persists and uncovers an old article linking her family to a house fire in Texas. Suspecting the woman survived, she continues digging. At last, a phone call connects her to Meredith, who reveals her pyrokinetic ability. Claire and Zach hide their search by pretending it's a school project, narrowly avoiding discovery when Bennet almost catches them snooping on his computer. Meanwhile, Hiro and Ando are kidnapped, leading them to an unexpected figure, Hiro's father. Elsewhere, Peter meets Claude, an invisible man, and convinces him to help train his uncontrolled powers. Finally, Sylar awakens after faking death, shocking Bennet with a chilling question about Claire. Claude leads Peter invisibly through New York streets, bumping into strangers for fun. He explains that Peter unconsciously copies powers and must learn control. To test him, Claude steals a purse and leaves Peter holding it. When Peter's invisibility fades, the owner catches him, proving how unstable his abilities are. Meanwhile, Nikki speaks with a counselor who wants Jessica to surface. Though restrained, Jessica takes over, mocks the therapist, and easily breaks free, leaving the woman unconscious. Guards rush in, subdue Nikki, and drag her back to her cell. Elsewhere, Sylar regains his strength, attacks Bennet, and discovers Claire's address. Determined to find her, he escapes, while Bennet helplessly watches. Later, Sylar shows up at the Bennet home disguised, charming Mrs. Bennet until she grows suspicious. When she reaches for the phone, he attacks, but Bennet and the Haitian arrive just in time to drive him off. The Haitian erases her memory once again. At Isaac's studio, Simone asks for help finding Peter. Isaac admits failure but warns her to avoid him. Yet later, she and Isaac share an embrace, unaware that Peter and Claude are spying nearby. Enraged, Peter lashes out, forcing Claude to shove him off a building. Peter survives by healing, realizing emotions tied to people unlock his powers. Overwhelmed, he briefly loses control until Claude knocks him unconscious. In Texas, Claire finally meets her birth mother, Meredith, who reveals she can create fire. They bond, and Meredith gifts her a necklace before later contacting Claire's father, Nathan. Meanwhile, Hiro's father pressures him to accept a corporate role. Pretending to agree, Hiro cleverly exposes Kimiko's skills, convincing their father she should lead instead. We then see Isaac painting Peter, half invisible and broken. As looming visions of destruction grow clearer, Meredith secretly calls Nathan, revealing that their daughter Claire is alive. Shocked, he admits he thought both Meredith and the baby died in a fire years ago. She claims the fire was no accident and that she used it to escape. Nathan asks about their daughter, and Meredith proudly describes Claire as smart and beautiful, even joking she might run for Congress someday. Realizing Meredith is hinting at his campaign, Nathan offers money to keep the story quiet. She agrees, but it's clear she's playing both sides. Meanwhile, Claire grows angry with her father as her mother's health worsens. When he grounds her, she turns to Meredith, who says Nathan wants to help. Claire hopes to meet him, but Meredith warns it might end in disappointment. In New York, Nathan debates whether to see Claire. His mother urges him not to, warning the press would destroy his chances in the election. Despite this, he flies to Texas. Meredith shows him a photo of Claire, and Nathan becomes emotional, though he decides not to meet her. Heartbroken, Claire overhears and lashes out, throwing a rock at his limo as he leaves. Elsewhere, Matt is tasked with protecting Malski, a man who betrayed Linderman. Jessica arrives to kill Malski, leading to a violent chase. Matt overhears Nikki and Jessica arguing and becomes confused, believing two women are involved. Eventually, Jessica kills Malski. Matt finds the diamonds and, frustrated by others' scorn, secretly keeps them. At the same time, Mohinder travels to meet Zane from the list, but Sylar arrives first, kills him, and impersonates him. When Mohinder shows up, he is fooled, and even impressed by Sylar's control. Meanwhile, Hiro and Ando meet a woman named Hope, who tricks them into stealing a bag. Hiro suspects a scam, but Ando ignores him. Finally, Claire returns home, only to find her mother terrified and unable to remember her. In the Nevada desert, Ted hides in a cabin until a stranger contacts him through his computer. The woman, Hana, can tap into signals with her mind, mind and explains that the marks on their necks are tracking devices from a company called Primatech. She convinces Ted to join her, promising he'll get his chance at revenge. Meanwhile, Claire struggles at home. Her mother's memory falters, sometimes forgetting her own family. Claire worries it's from repeated mind wipes, but her father brushes her concerns aside. In New York, Isaac warns Bennet and his partner that Peter has absorbed the power of an invisible man named Claude. While Isaac stays behind with a gun, Bennet hunts Peter. On a rooftop, Peter trains with Claude, showing he can use telekinesis. But when Bennet and his partner ambush them, Peter unleashes a shocking new strength, catching weapons midair and flying them both to safety. Claude later admits he too once had the tracking mark and cannot risk staying. Elsewhere, Simone pushes Nathan to reveal their powers to the world to help find Peter, but Nathan refuses, fearing they'd be locked away. In Las Vegas, Hiro and Ando's troubles escalate when Ando learns Hope is smuggling stolen casino chips. A shootout leaves him wounded, and Hiro decides Ando should return to Japan to keep him safe. Ted later meets Matt and Hana in a cemetery, where they decide to confront Bennet together. Meanwhile, Mohinder travels with Sylar, disguised as Zane, to meet a woman with super hearing. That night, Sylar murders her and takes her ability. Back in New York, Peter confronts Isaac over betrayal. Their fight turns violent, and when Simone suddenly enters, Isaac accidentally shoots her. Peter holds her in despair as she dies. Mr. Muggles barks at the door as Ted melts the handle and enters with Matt. They search for Bennett's computer, but the family suddenly returns. Ted insists on taking them hostage, and Matt reluctantly agrees. When Bennet tries to play the paper salesman role, Ted exposes him. Flashbacks show Bennett's early days with the company, working under a mysterious man and partnered with Claude. He's later told to adopt baby Claire, with the condition she'd be returned if she developed powers. Over the years, Bennet balances family life with secret missions, using the Haitian to protect his wife's memory. Back in the present, Matt learns Claire knows more than she admits. When Ted grows unstable, Bennet convinces Matt to fake shoot Claire. She heals in secret upstairs, proving Bennet didn't create her powers. He admits he's only been trying to keep her hidden. More flashbacks reveal Bennet once shot Claude on a bridge for hiding someone special, cementing his loyalty to the company. In the present, tension peaks as Ted threatens to lose control. Bennet offers him files, but the mysterious man arrives, shoots Ted, and nearly triggers a catastrophic blast. Claire bravely injects Ted with a tranquilizer, surviving the explosion as her healing ability shocks her mother. Later, Ted is locked in a cell, and Matt lies unconscious under observation. The mysterious man pressures Bennet to bring Claire in, but Bennet insists on protecting her. Driving with her, he reassures her that despite everything, he is her father. Finally, at the same bridge where Claude once fell, Bennet arranges his own capture. The Haitian shoots him non-lethally, and before blacking out, Bennet shares a heartfelt moment with Claire, calling her Claire Bear and telling her he loves her. Meanwhile, Isaac accidentally kills Simone while aiming for Peter, who escapes using invisibility. Racked with guilt, Peter goes to Nathan for help. Nathan suggests calling the police on Isaac, but Peter vanishes again, still blaming himself. Bennet wakes with no memory of Claire's abduction or the Haitian's betrayal. Thompson presses him, reminding him that Claire was only ever an assignment, not his real daughter. Matt, held captive, confirms Bennet is telling the truth. Later, Bennet and Candace stage an alibi by disguising Simone's corpse, while Isaac spirals into drugs and paints his own grisly fate. Claire, still with the Haitian, learns they must flee the country. At the airport, she outsmarts him by stealing his documents and escapes to Peter's apartment. Instead, Angela opens the door, revealing herself as Claire's grandmother and admitting she has been working with the Haitian to keep her safe. At home, Sandra follows Bennett's instructions to act as if her memory was wiped, but Candace, posing as her, tricks Bennet until Thompson's men arrive to capture him. Somewhere else, Hiro and Ando reach Linderman's museum. With Nathan's help, Hiro finds the sword he has been seeking. Just as security closes in, Hiro teleports himself and Ando into the future, where they see New York destroyed. Hiro collapses, believing he has failed. Nathan prepares to record Linderman with the FBI's wire, but Jessica kills the agents. Nikki warns Nathan that Linderman is dangerous. When Nathan confronts him, Linderman reveals he knows about Nathan's powers and family. He promises Nathan the presidency if he cooperates. Nathan lowers his gun. On the other hand, Mohinder traps Sylar with drugs and restraints, but Sylar breaks free and overpowers him. Later, Peter finds Mohinder injured, only to be attacked by Sylar, who prepares to cut him open as Peter screams. Bennet sits in his cell when Candace appears disguised as Claire, but he quickly sees through it. Thompson arrives, reminding Bennet that the company gave him everything. Yet now he's on death row for getting too close to Claire. Left alone, Bennet waits for what's next. Meanwhile, Nathan tours Linderman's art collection, skeptical of his polished image. Linderman insists he preserves beauty for the world and demonstrates his healing power by reviving a dying plant. He shares his vision. An explosion in New York will kill only a fraction of humanity but create unity and hope. He shows Nathan a painting of him in the Oval Office, declaring it his destiny. Nathan storms out, calling him insane. Peter finds Mohinder injured and pinned to the ceiling. Suddenly, Sylar attacks. A brutal fight follows. Peter heals from Sylar's attempted cut, counters with telekinesis, and even turns invisible. However, Sylar hurls glass shards, and one pierces Peter's head, dropping him lifeless. Mohinder manages to knock Sylar out, but when he looks back, Peter's body has vanished. At Angela's home, Claire learns her grandmother has been secretly protecting her since birth. Though Angela wants to send her to Paris for safety, Claire resists, wanting to know her father and uncle. When Mohinder arrives claiming Peter is dead, Angela breaks down in tears, but Claire notices the shard in Peter's head, removes it, and he regenerates. Alive again, Peter urges Nathan to accept Claire and face the truth about their powers. Bennet guides Parkman and Ted to escape, forming an uneasy alliance to stop the company. Jessica reluctantly agrees to let Linderman use Micah, though unease lingers. Finally, Sylar murders Isaac and takes his power, painting a warped vision of Nathan's future. In the future, Hiro confronts his older self, realizing the world has already fallen. Hiro and Ando are thrown 5 years into a bleak future where New York has already been destroyed. They discover a timeline of past and future events and soon encounter an older version of Hiro. Before they can process what happened, Matt and his government unit storm in and capture young Hiro. Ando escapes with future Hiro, who explains that in this world, people with powers are branded terrorists, and the only one who can truly help them is Peter. The two head to Las Vegas, where they find Nikki working as a dancer. She reveals Peter's location, and they soon spot him, now wielding invisibility and hardened by the years. At the same time, Bennet works underground, relocating people with abilities and showing them how to evade capture using fake blood tests. When Hiro and Ando visit him, they learn Claire is alive, though Bennet already knew and has been secretly protecting her. Claire, however, is unwilling to run. She wants a normal life with the man she loves, but Bennet warns she's in danger. Meanwhile, Nathan rules as president, having declared powered people enemies of the state. Matt, now working for Homeland Security, hunts them mercilessly. After tracking Hiro again, he nearly succeeds, but Peter intervenes, freezing time and rescuing them. Tensions grow when Ando learns he was killed in the original blast. Soon after, Matt uncovers Claire's location by reading Bennett's mind and kills him to cover his tracks. He delivers Claire to Nathan, but the president reveals himself as Sylar in disguise and murders her. Elsewhere, Mohinder kills the Haitian, allowing Peter and future Hiro to fight back. Yet future Hiro is gunned down, passing on a final mission. Young Hiro must return to the past and stop Sylar before destiny collapses. Hiro and Ando return to the present and study a comic that has no dialogue yet. They search for Isaac, but instead discover his dead body, only to realize Sylar is nearby. Hiding as Sylar emerges freshly shaven. They barely escape after he senses them. Later, they follow him through the city, unsure how to act. Meanwhile, Peter tells Claire she must stay because she's connected to the coming disaster. She mentions Ted, whose unstable powers mirror the explosion Peter fears. Nathan welcomes his family back while quietly aligning with Linderman, believing sacrifice will give him power. Elsewhere, Matt, Bennet, and Ted try to stay hidden from a new tracking system. While Mohinder reluctantly works with Thompson, he meets Molly, a sick girl who can locate anyone but is dying from a condition that once killed Mohinder's sister. Realizing she's the only one who can stop Sylar, Mohinder races to find a cure. In Las Vegas, DL and Jessica break into Linderman's vault, finding records that prove their lives were manipulated. They also see disturbing artwork of Micah in danger. Meanwhile, Micah tries escaping Candace, but her illusions trap him in place. Sylar visits his mother, seeking comfort and validation. She urges him to embrace greatness, even suggesting he could be president. He demonstrates his powers, accidentally frightening her. When she attacks in desperation, he kills her during the struggle. Hiro nearly strikes him down but falters, unwilling to become a killer. Sylar destroys Hiro's sword, though Ando helps them escape. As Mohinder discovers Molly's cure, Peter prepares for the worst, handing Claire a gun and asking her to stop him if he loses control. While Nathan accepts his dark role, Sylar paints the city's destruction in blood, convinced it is his destiny. Peter nearly loses control after absorbing Ted's explosive power, but he manages to contain it. Elsewhere, Hiro despairs over his broken sword, until Ando finds a smith with a godsend symbol in his ad. They go to the shop where Hiro is shocked to find his father waiting to train him. Bennet lays out out his plan to stop the company and sends Claire, Peter, and Ted out of the city. But Sylar overhears everything and plots to follow. Peter explains to Ted and Matt about the explosion, while Nathan struggles with Linderman, who insists destiny is on Nathan's side. Linderman even restores Heidi's ability to walk, leaving her shaken and angry at his presence. Hiro later begs Nathan for help, calling him Flying Man, but Nathan coldly insists the explosion can't be stopped. Meanwhile, Linderman manipulates Micah into rigging the election. Candace disguises herself to sneak him into the polls, and Micah hacks the system to give Nathan a landslide victory. Nathan wins but is soon confronted by Jessica and DL, who demand answers about Linderman. At the company's facility, Bennet and Matt try to destroy the tracking system, but run into Mohinder, Thompson, and Molly. Tension boils over, and Bennet kills Thompson, but Mohinder turns on him. A standoff follows as Molly's safety hangs in the balance. On the road, Sylar ambushes the police transport holding Ted. With brutal ease, he kills him and steals his destructive ability. Peter and Claire arrive moments later, horrified at what's happened. Back at the shop, Hiro's father declares his son ready, but Hiro learns Ando has left alone to face Sylar. Meanwhile, Linderman is confronted by Nikki and DL. He tries to manipulate Nikki, but DL fatally kills him before collapsing. Nathan celebrates his victory as Sylar stands over New York, whispering a single word, boom. Angela convinces Nathan to carry on Linderman's vision after the murder, insisting his role is vital for what's to come. Though uneasy, Nathan accepts. Meanwhile, a wounded DL urges Nikki to keep searching for Micah on her own. Elsewhere, Bennet and Mohinder move Thompson's body, and Bennet warns that Molly's gift could be dangerous. Mohinder refuses, vowing to protect her. When Molly relapses, Bennet gets a call from Claire, who reveals Sylar has Ted's power. Bennet tells Peter he's the only one who can stop him. Peter and Claire meet Nathan in a garage. Claire insists they can't trust him, but Peter defends his brother. However, Peter hears Nathan, thinking that nothing can stop the explosion. Angry, Peter realizes Nathan has given up. When Claire sneaks off, she runs into Angela. Peter, overwhelmed, passes out as his nuclear ability stirs. At Molly's side, Matt learns her ability can locate anyone, though she admits there's someone worse than Sylar who can see her if she thinks of him. Using Molly, Bennet finds Sylar at Isaac's loft. Ignoring warnings, Matt heads there. Peter, unconscious, sees a past conversation on Charles's rooftop. Charles insists Peter, not Nathan, is the one with the compassion to heal the world. At the loft, Sylar captures Ando, but Hiro rescues him. Nikki faces her double but realizes Candace was only tricking her, then reunites with Micah. Hiro decides he must face destiny alone and leaves Ando with the sword. In Kirby Plaza, Peter battles Sylar as chaos unfolds. Nikki joins briefly, but Peter begins to lose control of the nuclear power. Hiro stabs Sylar but is thrown aside. Unable to stop himself, Peter begs for death, yet Nathan arrives, promising another way. Telling Claire he loves her, Nathan lifts Peter into the sky. Together, they vanish in a distant explosion that saves the city. And that wraps up the first season of a whirlwind of heroes, villains, and a whole lot of glowing hands. If you ever thought your family dinners were messy, just be glad no one at the table can blow up New York by sneezing. See you in the next recap.